The meaning of the movie author Orpheus to read for minutes published 11.09. 2019 updated 16.10. 2019 The feature film, Vysotsky. Thank You for Being Alive, is dedicated to the famous Russian songwriter and actor Vladimir Vysotsky. The point of the movie was originally to reveal the most important milestone of the path of the man known throughout the Soviet Union and beyond, the last year of his life. This biographical screen adaptation of 2011 was criticized by fans of Vysotsky's work for incomplete compliance with the real facts of the biography, but the criticism has little justification. In fact, there were almost no serious discrepancies with the known facts, and the movie was declared as a feature film, not a documentary, which means that it has a place in creative fiction writers and directors. What is the movie Thank You for Living? The events take place in the summer of 1979, at the place of Vysotsky's permanent residence, i.e., in Moscow. Vladimir Vysotsky is in a state of crisis, because for quite a long time he has been under the constant influence of alcohol and drugs. Even a strong body of a man can no longer withstand the stresses, so, in order to save him, the parents of the artist call doctors to the house. Vysotsky refuses to accept help and lies in the hospital under observation. He throws out the doctors. Vysotsky plans to go to his wife, but obtaining documents for a trip abroad to the USSR is a very long process, and Marina Vladi, his wife, at that time permanently resides in Paris. To keep himself busy, Vysotsky agrees to a tour to Uzbekistan. The artist arrives in Bukhara with a team of friends and fellow artists. They check into a hotel, where Vysotsky goes into drug withdrawal. The hot climate caused it even earlier than one could expect. Comrades call an ambulance, but Uzbek medics refuse to give a shot of morphine. To help the comrade to last the tour, one of Vysotsky's friends goes on a criminal offense. He steals from the medics an ampoule with a drug. The small dose is obviously not enough for the whole tour. Tatiana takes all possible connections to smuggle drugs to Bukhara for Vysotsky. Since all the artist's telephone conversations are tapped, Tatiana is detained while trying to smuggle a dose. Tatiana selflessly says that she is taking the drugs for herself. During concerts, Vysotsky feels disgusting. He loses consciousness, and at some point even falls into a state of clinical death, from which he is miraculously brought out by his comrade with a shot of adrenaline. The agent listening to Vysotsky was misled by Vysotsky's clinical death. He did not know that the artist had been brought back to life and came to the hotel. Being a fan of Vysotsky's work, he was really saddened. Having learned that the artist survived, the observer urgently sends him to Moscow, even, unexpectedly, helps Tatiana to leave. She, having been caught with drugs, was left without a passport, and without it the woman was not registered for a flight. After Vysotsky's return, they try to involve him in cooperation with organizations involved in the preparation of the upcoming Olympics. But he refuses on principle. The KGB agent, who was monitoring the artist in Bukhara, tries in every possible way to mitigate the consequences of the artist's behavior during the tour. He does not provide any compromising data on Vysotsky and the woman who tried to help him. The meaning of the movie Thank You for Being Alive. If we talk about what the movie is about, then we can unequivocally say only that it is not about biographical events. There are enough documentaries about Vysotsky as it is. The scriptwriters and directors had a completely different task. They tried to show the psychology of a creative man, driven into the close confines of the conventions of the Soviet political regime. That is why they chose this, not the most beautiful moment in the life of the artist, to create a storyline. The movie was much criticized for blackness, for the fact that it connects Vysotsky's name not with his immortal creations, but with drunkenness and alcoholism. However, only people who have not understood the basic message reflected in the title itself can argue in this way. Despite the fact that in 1979 the artist was already broken by the lack of full creative freedom and the impossibility to influence somehow the state of affairs in his country, to help his compatriots for whom his soul ached, this theme is very fully revealed in his work, despite the fact that he was on opposite sides of the barricades with someone, the agent who was following him, one more year. A whole year of Vysotsky's life after his clinical death was a real gift to all the Soviet people who loved the artist immensely. The meaning of the ending of the movie Thank You for Living. The meaning of the ending is revealed quite transparently. The movie ends with the fact that the KGB agent following the artist, in fact, takes his side. Simply because in those years it was impossible not to like Vysotsky, he personified too many things. When in the credits the viewer sees that exactly 1 year after these events the artist dies, it becomes clear that the year after his clinical death was a gift, for which the filmmakers thank him in the title, Vysotsky. Thank you for being alive. Admin.